Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Where were we day for yesterday? Nobody remembers?
Some of us were not there, Swamiji.
Eh?
Some of us were not there day for yesterday.
Oh. We were reading the May issue of the Vision.
Witness consciousness.
Witness consciousness. That was the theme. And Papa's article we will again read. This is very important because then the thought came, we are all busy with so many activities. To exclusively sit and watch it is difficult. So in the morning we will try for 5 or 10 minutes and then try to feel the presence. Papa says, when you chant the beloved's name, your mind gets enchanted by its sweet music and will take up the refrain. Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. When we chant this, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So this is what he says, Papa says, when you chant the beloved's name, your mind gets enchanted by its sweet music and will take up the refrain. Again, we will keep on repeating. The mind is now inebriated with a strange and rare joy. During that particular chanting period, an inexplicable, pleasant feeling wells up in our mind, joy. Again, when you chant the beloved's name, your mind gets enchanted by the music, sweet music, and will take up the refrain. The mind is now inebriated with a strange and rare joy. Whenever it wanders, by the repeated infusion of this joy, when we remember this joy, it becomes immediately steady and placid. Mind will go, here and there it will go. If we are not in a position to do it, what we try is, when the immediately open, again chant. We cut the train of thought. Morning, when the mind is fresh. And then, it is the waves of the lower desires arising in it that cause this disturbance. Because we are not exclusively sitting on this, A lot of concepts, lot of likes and dislikes, lot of rights and wrongs, so many things, cravings, so many things are there. We have duties, responsibilities, this and that, so many things come in our mind. And then, when the mind is thus perfectly still through the power of the name, That means during that 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we try to, whenever the mind is getting disturbed, we try again to chant. That is why the initial stages, Papa was not leaving this mantra. Because the moment it is stopped and we stop hearing it, it will go here and there. So initially he was also trying like this for a short time, even the period ever so small. You remember now? Even the period ever so small, he was trying to repeat Ram, 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 Ram. So we will also try that. That's what it was suggested. Every day morning, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever you feel like. Then only the real purpose will be served of this satsang. And then what he says, when the mind is thus perfectly still through the power of the name, you attain to a state of self-awareness or witness consciousness. The moment we read, we hear about this witness consciousness, normally we feel we have to reach a stage. By doing something, we have to reach that stage. Actually, it is not reaching any stage. Now we understand it is not reaching a stage. We become aware of that stage. Nothing that we want to acquire, nothing that we want to attain. We want to become aware of that chanting, no? That's all. So 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 5 minutes is enough to begin with. Because if we are successful in that 5 minutes, that will take us further. So when the mind is thus perfectly still through the power of the name, you attain to a state of self-awareness or witness consciousness. In a subtle way, you are made to transcend the relative nature of your life individually, with which you had identified yourself through ignorance, and come to realize that you are one with the vast, illimitable, eternal truth or life. Mataji used to mention that, no? Deha buddhi to Vishwa buddhi. We have to struggle now. We have to try this. We are setting apart only 5 minutes out of our waking state. At first, there is a struggle for achieving the awareness. But by a constant practice, you are fixed in the supreme consciousness and live and act always in a beatific state. Now the light of the inner witness floods every part of your emotional, vital, physical being, and a marvelous transformation takes place in you. Life is divinized, not only in its inner aspect, but also in all its outer expression. This sublime goal is reached by stilling the mind, which is done by chanting the name. We are now very clear, no? Chanting is for stilling the mind. This sublime goal is reached by stilling the mind, which is done by chanting the name. So remember God, meditate on Him, surrender your life to Him, achieve the summum bonum of your life, God. This is the lead article of the May Vision. Though it is a one-page article, we have to reread. Many of you might be getting this in the digital form now. Are we somewhat clear about Papa's words?
Clear, Swami.
Yes, Swamiji.
So we chant in a tune that is okay for us, any tune. Any tune. Because music has got a power to get ourselves concentrated on it. Raga plays a very important role.
One thing, Swamiji, we are aware of the chanting. Who is aware, the mind or the self? We don't know, Swamiji. We are aware of the chanting.
There you stop.
Oh.
The moment the question, who is aware, the question varta, immediately, it will stop by itself. Because we are not asking anybody else, We have heard our chanting. And we are asking ourselves who is hearing. We are trying to understand the person in us, the entity in us. Who is chanting and who is hearing. Upon the hearing, we will get, at least for a second. Again we slip. We again chant. We again hear. We are not acquiring anything. Then we realize the awareness is there. Now and here it is there. Once again we will read. When you chant the beloved's name, your mind gets enchanted by its sweet music and will take up the refrain. The mind is now inebriated with a strange and rare joy. Whenever it wanders, by the repeated infusion of this joy, it becomes immediately steady and pleasant. Day before yesterday, we reached Coimbatore. Evening at 6 o'clock, friends started coming. 6 o'clock we started, 6 o'clock we started. 1 hour Ramna. Not one person chanting in one group, one raga. Devotee, we did not ask anybody to do anything. We said, yes, we will have a Ramnam session. As soon as normally one person starts, he started and when he stopped, another person immediately started. When he stopped, another person. When he stopped, another person. The 1 hour, it went like this. We were transported to a different realm. Because there is nobody to say anything, Each one is prompted by the power to chant. No competition. Not feeling bad about others. Nothing was there. And everybody, we did not feel like stopping, but then we have to share some thoughts. And everybody has to get back to their home, which is far off. So at 7 o'clock it was stopped. Why we remember, as soon as Ramnam is stopped, somebody leads and we chant. When we hear the leading, all these things will definitely come into for us. Our mind will automatically join the chanting, We don't have to instruct. We don't have to do anything. We are allowing the witness consciousness to become more and more clearer to us. And there was no talk, so everybody was able to enjoy that. Well, like that, we will also try for 5 minutes every day morning. So when you chant the beloved's name, your mind gets enchanted by refrain. The mind is now inebriated with a strange and rare joy. Whenever it wanders, by the repeated infusion of this joy, the joy which we get during the chanting, So with the moment I connect myself to the joy, the wandering mind gets stopped. Otherwise, I again start chanting. It becomes immediately steady. It is the waves of lower desires arising in it that cause the disturbance. We know the cause. Because we have not been fully concentrating upon it. The mind is preoccupied with so many things. Naturally, it will go. We are not accusing or we are not feeling disturbed. Mind, let it go. When the mind is thus perfectly still through the power of the name, you attain to a state of self-awareness or witness consciousness. In a subtle way, you are made to transcend the relative nature of your life. That means I am chanting, that feeling will go. In a subtle way. This is the litmus test. In a subtle way, you are made to transcend the relative nature of your life with which you had identified yourself through ignorance, the me and mine, and come to realize that you are one with the vast, illimitable, eternal truth or life. At first, there is a struggle for achieving the awareness. But by constant practice, you are fixed in the supreme consciousness and live and act always in this beatific state. Now, the light of the inner witness floods every part of your emotional, vital, physical being, and a marvelous transformation takes place in you. When we are chanting and when we are talking and stopping, you will feel the stillness. This sublime goal is reached by life is divinized, not only in its inner aspect, but also in its outer expression. Anything that we handle, any word that we utter, will have that clarity. This sublime goal is reached by stilling the mind, which is done by chanting the name. So remember God, meditate on Him, surrender your life to Him, achieve the summum bonum of your life, God. So rest of the time we will carry on with whatever sadhana we are doing. We will not stop anything, because we know that whatever we have been doing is slowly pushing us to this stage. So they are not irrelevant. It has done its job. It is doing its job. It is helping us. That we will continue. Every day we will try this 5 minutes. And when we are blessed with the awareness, for us it is the toughest. But we believe in the words of masters, because this is something nobody can certify, It is purely, he will bless us with this experience. We only, that expression is not right. It is an inner experience which cannot be seen or certified by anybody else. Reveling in that, now we understand the Mahatmas, when Ramana Bhagavan was sitting like that, he was always reveling in that awareness, that's all. And later on we will also find, it doesn't mean outwardly we will keep quiet. Inwardly we will be keeping quiet, outwardly we will be acting. It will be going on. In one article, it is clearly mentioned. You may feel concerned how you will remain active as a witness, because you think a witness is just a spectator who remains aloof and does not participate in the game of life. These are some of the doubts that may come. Vacha, when I enjoy this, that means I become stock still. No. To know that, we have to sit quiet and become aware of the awareness. And once that awareness comes, we will see now. The one who has attained the state of witnessing is not a spectator. He participates and efficiently plays his role as ordained by his past karmas. In fact, he lives life fully, profoundly, and in awareness. He also gets up, sits, walks, moves about like others, but with awareness. A new beauty manifests in his life. The awakened consciousness is not against the activities, but is free from the doership. This is what Papa said the other day, no? What is his will now? His will now is that he will get up, go to the carpenter shed, supervise and then come back, sit in the Panchavadi, wait for the evening meal. Activities are going on. A new beauty manifests in his life. The awakened consciousness is not against activities, but is free from doership. That is what he said, it is his will. Is it becoming clear? It is highly subjective. When we chant Ram Nam, we try to enjoy the music. When we enjoy that music, a feeling of joy wells up in our heart. Immediately the mind goes for something else. Immediately we try to remember this joy. Again it is brought back. In our case, probably we may have to open the eyes and again restart, that's all. We cut the train of thoughts, which is taking us outside. And then when we slowly do that, then paving the way for the becoming aware of the awareness. And until we get this directly, we have to sit for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, free from all activities. Just like the cycling balance. We will not do any other activities other than trying to get the balance through cycling. And one day, the balance comes from within. And the balance never goes. It stays with us forever. Similarly, we will keep on trying this for 5 minutes or 10 minutes every day. Not to acquire something new, but this balancing, this awareness to come out of it. Intellectually, it's very clear now. Now we are praying to him. You have made thus clear to us. Previously, we were thinking that we have to struggle hard and then get something. Now we know it is not like that. The balance is within us. The awareness is within us. It is shrouded or covered by so many thoughts. I am not becoming aware. So with one thought, like Ramna, with one thought, I am trying to eliminate all our thoughts. And then only when the thought stays there, we become aware of the thought. And then the thought also goes, which is called stillness. Probably for a quarter of a second we may get this. 5 minutes or 10 minutes you keep on doing it. Then Papa assures us that it was slowly. He says, initially you will find it difficult. At first there is a struggle for achieving the awareness, but by constant practice you are fixed in the supreme consciousness and live act always in this state. So, as votaries of Ramnam, we are trying to improve the quality of our Ramnam. That's all. That is in short. We are chanting, but previously we were not aware. Now we know the chanting is for remembering him. So we employ any method that is okay for us. These are all suggested by various people, Papa and others. That is the theme of the entire May issue. If we can follow that, we try. Otherwise, we try to follow our own method, any method. We are clear now. Ramnam should enable me to free myself from all other thoughts, and ultimately it should lead me to stillness. That means remembering him. Remembering him in the form of awareness. And that awareness is not a foreign thing. You know that you are listening. That is the awareness. You know that you are looking. So it is not a different. Now and here it is there. I am not aware. That's all. I am not aware of the awareness. Because I stand there. No? So to remove that I, remove that thought, I have been asked to use Ramnam chanting with faith and devotion. That this Nama will definitely, if it has helped Papa, it will help us. If it has helped Mataji, it will help us. If it has helped Gondavarikar Maharaj or Puja Swamiji or anybody. All Mahatmas keep on telling that Nama will help us. We have been hearing that, but we have not been able to enjoy that. Though we do enjoy chanting. So that means whatever he has made us to do so far, the fruition is now taking place. Because to develop a taste for Ramnam itself, people have to struggle. That he has already blessed us with. Now we are trying to get the fruit out of it. And the fruit is to become aware of the awareness. That is why, dear children, there is that story, many of you have read. But now with this aspect, how we will be able to lead a blissful life. A weaver with a bundle was caught by a policeman who examined the bundle and found stolen goods from a rich man whose house was broken into by thieves. The weaver was taken to the police station, and the next morning he was taken before the magistrate on a charge of theft. The trial started. There was no lawyer to represent the weaver. The magistrate directly questioned the weaver as to what happened the previous night. The weaver said, "Last night, by the will of God, after my work and meal were over, I was sleeping under my tree as usual. At dead of night, by the will of God, 2 persons came and woke me up. By the will of God, they placed a big bundle on my head, and by the will of God, they asked me to go with them. After walking a short distance, by the will of God, we saw a policeman coming. By the will of God, the two men who were close at my heels ran away. By the will of God, the policeman caught me. And by the will of God, he took me into custody. By the will of God, I slept well inside the prison. In the morning, by the will of God, I was brought here before you. And by the will of God, you gave justice to me. Hearing the story of the man, magistrate could realize that the weaver was not the thief. So he was acquitted. The weaver came out. When his friends asked him what happened, he said, by the will of God, I am released. He saw only God's will from beginning to end. Through this story, Virat Papa shows us how to watch all activities of life dispassionately. Some of you will remember that when we were going through the heart pourings, a suggestion came that wherever the word Ramdas comes, we will put our name. Wherever Ram comes, we will either keep that Ram or our Ishtadevata. So that when we read that, it is not Papa's outpourings we are reading. We will slowly realize that we are reading our own mind. We are having a dialogue with him. You remember? Some of you?
Oh, yes.
So similarly, this story also, we will replace that person to us. Is it possible? These are some of the ways, it is not written anywhere. We have to try. Because now the digital, the computer gives all facilities. What we did was, we have got this, soft copy. So wherever Ramdas comes, we put Muktananda. Wherever Ram comes, we say God, okay? So the mind will not go to any form. And then when we start replacing it and going through it once in a way, we are watching the dialogue between the mind and the God within. At times, we are watching the mind. At times, you are watching God. Because when you go through that, you will find, O Ramdas, it will say. That means who is telling? O Ram, then who is telling? So these different roles. That the real purpose of going through that heart pourings is to see for ourselves whether this dialogue between the indwelling reality and the sense of individuality takes place or not. It is purely an inner dialogue. So just like we tried that, those of us who are not tried can still try. If you want the soft copy to be sent from ashram, you can send an email. We will send it to you. And what you have to do is, if you are not comfortable, if you are not, computer language is not there, you can ask somebody to replace your name wherever Ramdas comes. Replace Ram wherever you feel your Ishtadevata. And then again read. Take a printout. Say once in a week or once in 15 days, you start reading it. See the result. Every day if you read, the problem becomes, it becomes ritualistic. But once in a way, on one fine morning, there will take place an alignment. Just like, when we repeat the prayer, nowadays it doesn't leave any deep impact. paper the kerchief paper bag prayer a single sheet. When we read any prayer, I took a copy and kept it somewhere. Conquer this prayer only. Sorry. So then when we read this, what happens to us? That is important. Every day we are reading when we are in ashram. Those who are attending the arati, they are definitely reading. And that reading, what happens? Adorable presence. Thou who art within and without, below and all those things, it automatically comes. We have learned it by heart. If somebody finds it difficult to connect, we immediately suggest this is that. But has it entered into us? That adorable presence, that word, Mahaniya Sannidhyam, most reverential, to adore, to respect, adorable presence. So we stop there. Oh, that this awareness is called that adorable presence. So when we read this, when he facilitates us to go through such articles, think about it, and then when we try to integrate it with our daily prayer, it gets a new meaning. Otherwise, it will automatically come. Everything will automatically come. And we will be thorough in it, so that when somebody commits mistake, we will be able to point out, that's all. That will not help us. Pointing out the mistake is not what is needed. No? If we are enjoying the real meaning, adorable presence. Now, kindly connect up this, what do you call it? This article, awareness, consciousness, awareness, with that prayer. This sense of individuality is praying to that adorable presence, to that awareness. Thought or mind is praying to the power behind the thought. You are there within and without. Life force and this consciousness is intertwined. That is why the cells of every being. You are penetrating into the cells of every being. And then, to make it again clear, Swami Omkarji Maharaj says, the eye of our eyes. Suppose we stop there, that will give us the whole meaning. How am I seeing it? No. Which is the power that helps me to see? At least during the 5 minutes, Ear of the ear. How am I hearing? What is that power enables me to hear? Heart of our hearts. What is the power that enables it to have this, 70 times or 100, 80 times to beat? Mind of our minds. What is it that makes me to think? Soul of our souls. You have given me a sense of individuality, and you have placed there this, that is the soul. The sense of individuality is activated, enlivened by that power. Otherwise, no. Think. So, Ramnam should enable us to free us from outgoing tendencies. Block it there with Ramnam. Start hearing the Ramnam. And we pray to him to bless us with that awareness. And then suddenly the realization comes that the awareness is spread all over, within and without. And when Papa said the last word, divinized the life. Life is divinized not only in its inner aspect, but also in all its outer expression. This sublime goal is reached by stilling the mind, which is done by chanting the name. So remember God, meditate on Him, surrender your life to Him, achieve the summum bonum of your life. Tivra sadhana. Papa is now pushing us to the Tivra sadhana. Intense practice. And he assures us, not only inside you will feel, but also in its outer expression. Now the light of the inner witness floods every part of your emotional, vital and physical being. Ready to serve attitude will be there. All of us have that. Whatever is possible, we are all doing it. And the emotional and vital. We are many, by His grace, we are not fully controlled by me and mine. There is only one small adjustment somewhere we have to make. Papa has held our hand and taken us thus far. When we look back dispassionately, we can find that we have been freed from many down-pulling forces. At the same time, we don't feel we have become aware of Him. So this is the last push He is giving us. None of us are aspiring for any selfish gains, take somebody's. We don't want to taking away, snatching away anything from others. Whatever is possible, we will try to help others. Suddenly we become aware He has blessed us with all those things now, but still something is missing. That is why in some moments, we slip down to this me and mine and react. After that, we realize also we should not have reacted. So that also He has given us. So we have been blessed with so many things. Now, the final part He is pushing us now. Hey, look here, you have done this much. And you have developed the taste for Ramnam. And now slowly transform this Nama to the remembrance. Remembrance of whom? Remembrance of your own self, awareness. with which only you are chanting. So it is not something that has to come from any other way, any other quarter, any other field. A deep mananam, that is what is needed. Even if we slip, he makes us aware that we have slipped. Whether we outwardly agree or not, internally, definitely, all these Ramnam will not go in vain. I should not have uttered like this. I should not have behaved like this. All those things will definitely come to all of us. Immediately remember, thank him. He has made us aware of where we have slipped. And now, in order that we don't slip again, we want to have this avalambana, to hold on. So he is again saying, with Ramana, we don't need any other sadhana. Wherever, whenever we get any opportunity to chant one Ramana, we will chant. Every now and then we say, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bas. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. We may be talking, we may be joking, we may be walking, we may be doing all our activities. Every now and then we will say, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And this 5 minutes or 10 minutes exercise in the morning. It will surely help us. In this article, Papa assures us, he only wants us to remember him. Clearly, this sublime goal is reached by stilling the mind, which is done by chanting the name. Because outer activities play an important role. To a very great extent, he has helped us to desist from doing that is harmful for others. But in spite of it, our ego, because we have not purified our ego, at times we assert our rights and wrongs. We want everybody to accept our rights and wrongs. And in that process, we not only make ours miserable, we make others miserable. And later on, he will make us initially the mind will justify so many things. But later on, the mind will say, what we have done is not right. Then pray to him, let me not do that again. You are there in everybody. Why do you make my mind feel that I am more noble, more, expert than others, more greater than others? Why did you make me to feel that everybody should accept my line of thinking? Like that we have a dialogue with him. And again chant Rama. And this morning 5 minutes or 10 minutes we will try to do it intensely to become aware of the awareness. Are we reaching anywhere?
Hope we are
somewhere
reaching.
Somewhere.
Somewhere we are reaching.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes.
We are under a tree, which is mango tree, which has got fruits. We were somehow led to the tree now. And there is a long stick with which we can pluck, or those who are in a position to climb, they can also pluck. So we have reached the bottom of the tree now. If we again look outside, we are missing the fruit.
That is what we are doing right now, Swamiji.
Yeah. Let us try. Oh, you have made me aware of the fruit now. Instead of looking here and there, why don't you make me to take the stick? Or why don't you make me to climb the tree and pluck it? For this also we need his help. Because if it was possible by ourselves, we would have done it much, much earlier. So here also we take him into task, and then finally appeal before him and say that kindly, kindly, kindly help me to pluck the tree. So with that bhavana, one more small thing is there. Letter of Papa. The conflict of apparently opposing forces in the play of the natural phenomena is viewed by the man of clear vision as by one among the audience witnessing a drama on the stage. He looks at the clashing forces dispassionately without identifying himself with either, realizing that the same power is expressing itself in both aspects. This is the secret of yoga, is Sri Krishna. So here, Papa wants us to watch even the so-called, what do you call this, downpulling forces. We don't have to struggle to control it. He asks us to watch that. Watching means, the identification gets broken. When I identify with the thought, I will not be able to witness the thought. So this is what he says. One among the audience witnessing a drama on the stage. He looks at the clashing forces, villain and the hero is there. The acts of villain and the acts of hero both are viewed by the audience. So a man of clear vision, who is one among the audience, witnessing a drama on the stage, he looks at the clashing forces dispassionately without identifying himself with either, realizing that the same power is expressing itself in both aspects. One more aspect, somewhere Papa has said, you do one thing, forget about everything, just witness your mind. Witness your thought. Anybody's thought. It may be a little difficult for us. Best way is to catch hold of this Ram Nam and do it. Because with the Ram Nam, we are safe. So every now and then, whenever there is any pause, we will make it a rule to repeat this. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Carry on with our act. Again we chant. Because now we know Papa has at least intellectually made us understood that chanting is for remembering. Chanting is for remembrance, chanting is for remembrance, chanting is for remembrance. And we pray to him to somehow motivate us to spend these 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the morning. And we individually, not collectively, individually we try to sit, and then no other activities. We are chanting in any form, with any type of raga we are comfortable with. And then we chant for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. Mind will slowly start repeating it. Then we find there is an inexplicable pleasant feeling. We call it as joy. Immediately another thought comes. Open, restart. We try. And then suddenly, we find the chanting is being known, chanting is being heard, chanting is being realized. But naturally, again. So when these practices take place, watch. results. Unknowingly, a tendency will develop to enjoy this. That is the beauty of it. Today we were watching for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. One boy of 12 years, I forgot his name. 12 years hardly. 11 or 12 years. He is singing beautifully one song. With that music, that song we have heard it previously. Exactly the same way. So because the music has got at that particular time what was happening in us. No other thought was coming. That is why we say we enjoyed that music. Unknowingly the awareness becomes, explicit there. So try. We keep on trying. 100% assurance Papa has given us. We now take it that he has pushed us to the tree. And he is showing us some guidance to pluck the fruit. So we all pray to him. Enable us to concentrate on this fault. Again, having come all the way, our mind is always looking out. Somebody comes, somebody talks, somebody does something. Immediately our mind goes there, forgetting about the fruit and the tree under which we are now sitting. Keep on doing it. We pray to Papa to bless us, to take us further. More of it, we will share some thoughts Sunday after tomorrow. Ayo, we are now in Kotagiri, Shanti Ashram. Serene atmosphere, very serene atmosphere. We will be here for a few days. And luckily, he has facilitated this Wi-Fi facility. So we had no problem at all. So we will again meet one day after tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram.